Welcome into the post-game show. This is the instant reaction. Alabama has survived Auburn by a score of 27-20. Here to walk you through it. But long story short, Alabama goes for it on a 4th and 2, okay? And Ty Simpson, I don't think he had his best night, but ice in his veins because it's 4th and 2, and he threw a 6-yard touchdown pass to Isaiah Horton, okay? They could have very well kicked a field goal right there, but they go for it. In this game, Ty Simpson, thought he competed like a warrior, all right? There's a lot of people calling for another quarterback. Kalen DeBoer stuck with Ty Simpson on the night. 19 of 35, 122, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. There could have been a couple of interceptions in this game. Auburn, I never seen a team drop more passes than Auburn on each side, defense and offense. I want to ask you inside the comment box, I'm going to get to it as well. How would you assess the play of Ty Simpson on a scale of 1 to 10? On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you assess the play of Ty Simpson? 3 touchdowns tonight. They were all from, short yardage situations, but 3 touchdowns tonight. Finishes out with 122. When you look to Alabama running the football, I think one of the things that we have to see is kind of the health status on Jam Miller. Jam Miller went out in the 4th quarter with a foot injury. He was seen on crutches. This was Jam Miller's best performance that he's had since Missouri. You agree with that? Best performance that Jam has had? Now the guy's out. We don't have a status update yet on him. 15 carries, 83 yards. He had some nice chunk yardage, including a 20-yard run, right? Good to see. He had the hot hand tonight. And in the back end, they went to Daniel Hill. 11 for 39. Collectively, Alabama, 38 rushes for 158 yards, okay? Receiving-wise, I think when you look at the stat sheet right here, you see that Ryan Williams was non-existent, okay? That's kind of, people kept asking on the stream, they're like, where's Ryan? I have no idea. He wasn't utilized at all. I did see him on the field. He's just not utilized. I don't know why, just not utilized. And I told you, my X factors, somebody had to step up tonight because you didn't have Josh Cuevas, and you knew they were going to be double-teaming Jeremy Bernard. Well, it was Isaiah Horton. Isaiah Horton caught 3 touchdown passes. Here's my trivia question to you. Who was the last Alabama wide receiver to catch for 3 touchdowns? Who was the last Alabama wide receiver to catch for 3 touchdowns in a game? Sound off inside the comment box. I'll wait. Lazier Brooks had 3 for 29. Jeremy Bernard, 3 for 24. Look, I think considering you went against Auburn's defense, Auburn was sending the pressure, and Ty Simpson was tagged. He battled like a warrior, and he made throws when it mattered. Honestly, he made throws when it mattered, period. As we look to Auburn's offensive stats, Ashton Daniels, 18 of 39, 259 yards passing against Alabama. And that's a lot more yards than I anticipated. But with that said, Alabama's secondary, I thought, did play well. There was just, Auburn struck. And this is a weird game. Weird things happen. But look how many drops that Auburn had, right? You see 5. It was more, and there was also some pass deflections that are not, counted here, but these guys dropped a lot of passes. Cam Coleman, 5 for 43. He ends up fumbling in the end. You had Simmons, who had some big yards as well, 3 for 143 yards. Wow, Alabama hasn't allowed a receiver to catch for that volume, I don't think, all season long, to be honest. Singleton had 3 for 26, and then in the end, it was Cam Coleman who fumbled, very costly turnover. And then Ashton Daniels as well, 108 rushing yards. That is I think that's the most rushing yards that Alabama has allowed by a quarterback all season long. When you look to the team statistics side by side, Auburn had 411 yards of total offense. Wow, that's a number that is really surprising to even me. Passing yards, they held Alabama in check outside of the goal line, right? 259 to 122. Alabama ran for 158. There was a lot of penalties, 18 penalties in this game. Alabama had 8 for 87. Auburn had 10 for 84. First downs, Bama had 18. Auburn had 20. Third downs was tough sledding, right? Ty struggled. They sent a ton of pressure on third down, specifically 4 of 17. 8 of 19 on the other side. Alabama, wow, 3 of 3 on fourth downs, including that critical one at the end of the game. And let's see, red zone 4 of 4, good number. Time possession, 34, good number. And then turnovers, no turnovers. So that's kind of been the recipe for Alabama, right? Is if they win time of possession and they don't turn over the football, they win games like this. I want to give a couple defensive shout-outs real quick. I got to start out. This guy right here, Xavier Brown, played absolutely stellar. Like, fantastic. It was really remarkable to see his play tonight. I thought Keon Sabb played wonderful, lights out. You know, Auburn did get some yards, but they kind of came in like chunk yardage situations. But I thought collectively, do you agree with me? Like the defense, I thought played really, really well overall. So let's see, Yanzi Pierre. There was a sack earlier in the game. James Smith. Deontay Lawson, I thought, played really well. And then Dejon Lee, there was a pass interference on him, and I think a pass interference on Red Morgan. But, man, this team comes up with a gigantic win at Jordan-Hare Stadium. And you kind of look to, what does it mean, right? And kind of questions after the Iron Bowl. And I want to ask you inside the comment box, and I will open up the phone lines. But let me ask you this, and this is for you, inside the comment box. You can just answer with a yes or no, okay? So I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. This is my instant reaction. So yes or no, is this a complete football team? And to me, what I mean by a complete team is a team that's playing well on offense, well on defense, well on special teams, okay? I think if you ask me that question right now, I want to ask from you inside the comment box. Is this a complete team? Well, tonight, I think they're a complete team. And that might be like, what? By the way, Cal just took the lead of SMU. You guys are overwhelmingly saying no. Fam, look, the offense got the job done. Like, when they had to move the ball, they did what they had to do, right? The defense clearly is still the backbone, and the special teams, they came in, and Connor Talty hit a field goal when he had to hit a field goal, right? I know you guys aren't happy with the play, okay? So you guys are overwhelmingly no. And by the way, Cal has beaten SMU. Crazy. All right, so the second thing, okay? So then you have to answer me this then, fam. Is this a playoff team? Playoff-type team, right? Like, would you want to see this team in the playoffs? Yes or no? And I think the way to look at Alabama, and I know these type of games are frustrating, and maybe it was frustrating to watch, but think about the defenses that Alabama is also going up against, right? Like Notre Dame is coasting. They're playing Stanford. You know what I'm saying? Is this a playoff team? So a lot of people say no. Hell no. Interesting. And I think they can clearly settle that next weekend as they got Georgia, right? So my next question going into this, can this team compete with Georgia? Like at this point in time right now, this team, do you think that they compete with Georgia? And what do you think that the opening line will be for Georgia and Alabama? Because it seems like we come to this point in time all the time with these two teams. It always seems like Alabama and Georgia find they're meant to be. And you know what's crazy? Let's say that Alabama is able to beat Georgia. Let's just say, okay? You know what's going to happen? They're going to be put on either the same side of the bracket or on the opposite side, and they're still going to meet up. You know what I'm saying? It's the craziest thing. So do you guys think that this team can compete with Georgia? Cody has it at -5. Okay, I think that's what a lot of people had it at, -5. I'll say -5. Ty Simpson walks off with the heart symbol. Okay, we already assessed. Okay, I don't think we did. Let me ask you straight up. How would you assess the play tonight of Ty Simpson? How would you assess the play of Ty Simpson? Scale of 1 to 10. Man, that's a tough one for me. He threw 3 touchdowns. He could have very well thrown 2 interceptions. He didn't. Um, like a so 6. That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say 6. He had that nice run for like 26 yards, right? You remember what you do in the month of November. The guy beat Auburn. You know what I'm saying? The guy led you to an SEC title game, right? That along with the damn good defense. 4, 7, 7, 6, 5. Yeah, I'm like a 6. And my last question before I take your calls is, what is your confidence level? What is your confidence level right now in this team going forward? What is your confidence level in this team going forward? I think for me, probably like a 6 or a 7. I mean, if you were to really ask me like right now at this point in time, Kyle, do you think that this team right now can win a national championship? Like right now, I'd say no. Okay. With that said, can they win the SEC title game? Yeah. Because I've seen them beat Georgia 10 out of the last 11 times. You know what I'm saying? Now, this defense is going to keep Alabama in every game. I don't care who you play. That's just that's how it's going to be. So my confidence level for this team going forward is like a 6 or a 7. But they're battle tested. I love it. They're battle tested. They've proven that they can win on the road, right? They've proven that they have a good defense. So they've been punched in the mouth. They've delivered. They've won some very challenging games. Winning at Jordan-Hare is impossible. They did that. Winning at UGA, impossible. They did that. You know what I'm saying? So, look, you got another opportunity. Everything could have been done tonight. It's not. They beat Auburn. So sleep on that. Okay? Toomer's Corner, quiet. Alabama moving on to the SEC title game.